EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. George. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Watch out, man. 50 series.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He finds Corey Davis. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
The Ravens are 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself at an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot, find a way to win some games, and keep moving forward.
Ready?
He'll get that out wide to Duvernay. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, this defense for the Bengals, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Ready?
They'll look to throw again. Right back to Duvernay. That's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A first down and then some. Give them 29 yards.
Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Ready?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. George. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the gun on 3rd down, George. And that is incomplete.
But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3's in.
I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
I think what we saw there, partner, was the true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. But this opening drive, while it stalled out, it still gave them 3 points.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And some space here. And he is finally brought down at the Ravens' 31-yard line.
40 yards rushing for him now at his first 2 carries of the ball game. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
11 MT, hey.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, 1st down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Bengals have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end in those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one moving forward as we wrap up the first month of NFL football. On 2nd and 7, George. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep downfield for Ross. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Ready.
To throw again, George.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taking it about the 16. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Nixon. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. They will throw on first down with Burrow. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 1, ready?
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And Ingram hauls it in. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
On one, ready? 11.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. It's Mixon on the counter. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here we go, here we go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On one, ready?
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. A toss left, Mixon, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Here we go.
Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Now Burrow. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And this will stay a 4-point game. That's so frustrating for an offense, especially on the road. You put together a great drive, but in the end, you come away with nothing.
And it kind of silenced the crowd a little, too. But few things wake them up quite like a missed field goal.
Ready.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Let's go.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Smack, smack.
On the ground, it's James. Bulldozes past him. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10.
22 needle. Double 38. Ready?
Looking to throw. George. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Ready?
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Ready?
Back to throw. George. This is caught inside the 15. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 33 yards that time.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
So now, following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. Now, here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Down.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
97. Ready.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. They'll look to throw on third and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on third down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Tucker's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here we go.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they wanted in with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Gun.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
Now the ball comes loose, but I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
On 2.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Here's Burrow.
A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one, and they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception, tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's James. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. George. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Daxton Hill picks it off. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Well, they matched their opponent's pick 6 from earlier. Those are some crucial points that may prove pretty consequential as to how this one plays out.
And, Brandon, I think now we're not just watching how they move around the field, but we're checking their psychology out a little bit, aren't we? Because that defense, they're about to go right back out with all the momentum on their side. As for the opposing offense, you wonder if there's going to be some hesitation to lean entirely on the passing game to try and mount a counterattack.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action. George. A quick throw, but incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
To throw again on 2nd down. George. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Trying to get the ball to his tight end in the center of the field where he runs a lot of his routes and ostensibly is extremely comfortable. He was hoping he'd find a seam and a big gainer to go along with it. But that one was incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, George. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson, and the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Here we go, here we go. 11 MT.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This goes out wide for Mixon. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
I'm fine, ready?
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches.
11 MT.
Burrow looking to pass. Finding Mixon here again on back-to-back plays. Touchdown! Joe Mixon, 30 yards. And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And now I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Ready.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Ready?
On first down, George.
Yet again, targeting and fighting Mark Andrews.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Red, cycle.
Back to throw. George. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. It's caught by Davis. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Here we go.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Looking to throw. George. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Devin Duvernay.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. He finds his target, Ebron.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, That'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He finds his man Johnson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
11.
Again, it's Mixon. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Burrow will throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. That is a tough way to start the 3rd quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
James. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Throw left side complete. That's Ross. And in for the Ravens touchdown. John Ross, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Ravens have retaken a 3rd quarter lead. So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a 3rd quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But boy, they executed awfully well.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
On 1, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Again, it's Mixon.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Here we go.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
From the gun again to Mixon. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
They go play action with Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there.
One, ready?
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Burrow on 3rd down. Completes it to Evan Ingram.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now it's Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will cut the lead down to just 2.
So give them 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say, we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Okay, ready?
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Drill 52.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Ready,
So
set.
from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. George.
Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Hey, during the course of any game, you'll see tip passes, but how often do we actually see the running back come up and end up making the play?
A shifty fella getting in there and grabbing it.
Yeah, you know, they always talk about how running backs have a nose for the end zone. They have a nose for the ball, too. They want it in their hands at all times.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. 20, 10. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. But how about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
And oh, it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football, just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Set, ready. Striker, 3-3. Ready?
They run it with James. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, This intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On second down, it's James. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On third down, it's James. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Come on, set.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. George. Escaping the... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss.
Strike 2. Blue striker.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. You don't see that too often, Charles. He punted that away and then hustled up to make the stop as well.
Yeah, because oftentimes they serve as their own safety after punting it. You want to be the last guy, but he decided to get involved in the action, didn't he? And what a spark that's got to provide for the rest of his team when they see their punter out there making a nice hit.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no
thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Ready.
Throwing on 2nd and 3, George. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Down.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. Up the middle they go. James. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And that is caught. It's Davis. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Ready, ready. 10 cycles. Set.
On first down, it's James. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19.
66 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ready.
Throwing on 2nd and 3, George. He'll buy some time right.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Ready.
On 3rd down, it's James. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory, backed up, in good situation. It didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Bengals will get the football back. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game. But, boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I'm one, ready? 11 MT, 11 MT. 11 MT, tank. 11 MT, tank.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon.
Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
On one.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, probably a little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
From the 35 on 2nd down, George, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Connecting with Andrews. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
22 needle.
They'll run on first down. James.
76 yards on the ground for him so far.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake. George. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Let's go.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. George. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Open man is Duvernay. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. From the 17, George. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals are going to get the football here at their own 23.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And Hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Burrow down to a knee, and that should be the final act of this one. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days,